Hello friends, it's Shannon and Sherry, and we wanted to share a couple of other collections that Sherry has in her house, and so we're going to talk about another one. So let me turn you around and I'll let her walk us through it. Hold on.
Okay, hi again. Hope this isn't getting boring for anybody or crazy, because I'm a little crazy. Again, this is where I talked about earlier it's such a privilege to have Datha Doolin's collection in my home. Actually, I'll add this too. She was a member, and if anybody went to the Tennessee Antique Show years ago, and I think it was even called something like the Appalachian Antique Show, her husband sold gourds, and I have one of her husband's giant gourds. He sold next to her. They were a love story. They met when they were, I think, 12, and they ended up marrying, and they were married till they both died. And they both died of old age. So they were Kentucky people, but they'd always traveled to Tennessee. And he sold gourds in one booth, and next door she would sell her painted, her early painted primitive items. And this again was her basket. So again, I just feel so blessed to have her things. I don't know why I collect anything, but these are old children's blocks, and I always have things spelled out. Like at Christmas, I spell out Christmas, Merry Christmas, and I use old children's blocks. So this is a very strange collection. This is exactly what it looks like. These are men's old socks. And back then, you have to realize, many people did not have much money. So they would use every item they had. And the mothers were just like mothers today. They wanted to provide toys, but they didn't have money. So they used their husband's old socks, from what I understand. And they would use cotton from the field. And sometimes, I even opened one once, and it had like scraps of old calico material. So they used anything they could. And one of my favorite ones, I bought him on eBay years ago, and I used him for Halloween because he's orange and black. Yeah. That's one of my favorite little cats. And sometimes a doll holds him. I collect creepy dolls. And sometimes a creepy doll holds this creepy cat. But he rides in this little basket because I lost him once for like a year, and I was very upset. But he was found, and now he has to stay in that little tiny basket to himself. This is a very favorite one of mine. He has a red bow tie and an extremely the teeniest tiny bell I've ever seen in my life. And again, they really had to watch all their money, and they usually have this exact kind of tail. Now, you have to be really careful, because a real one is going to run you anywhere from $100 to $150 unless you just get lucky in an estate sale. But some people make fake ones, and they're pretty good at it. So you kind of had to have been into antiques a long time to be sure. And even then, I think you could maybe get ripped off. But I try to buy from reputable dealers. And I'll show you my very favorite one, and it's just because of a trip, actually. One of my favorite trips my husband took me on was to Maine. And we had been there a whole day, and this one's kind of a mess, and so you can even tell from the old cotton filling, you can tell the age on that. And this is exactly like he came. He hasn't had a rough life here at all, but this is how he came. And I love just how everything is made. Again, the old bell, the old ribbons even. And this one came from Maine and flew home in my suitcase. So that's a favorite. This one is also a favorite because I bought it from a dealer that I've kind of become friends with online. Her name is Adrienne Abbott, and I think her last name is Abbott. And she sells very good, high-end, old primitives, and she's the real deal. And this was one of her cats, and she was willing to sell it to me because she knows I love them. And there's not many others, but one thing that can kind of help is some of the embroidery work. You can just really tell that this one is old. I mean, you can't really fake this kind of ribbon. Yeah. I love the embroidery work done on that one. I know you all are thinking, why does this woman love these stuffed black cats? I don't know. I don't know myself. But then also another clue to help you is the socks. It's not, many of them look extremely thin, just from wear and tear. And then the eyes can help you. If you study old buttons, You'll even know
Mm-hmm.
the older buttons. And so you don't, it's a little bit suspicious if you see newer buttons on a
Mm-hmm.
cat and they're trying to convince you it's old. So those are just maybe a few tips, not that you want to collect black spot cats.
But now we know.
But anyway, you might. And so
Perfect.
that's that.
Thanks.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thanks. Bye.